this coronavirus thing. My mother, uh, uh, a nutritionist, for Mary Gross nursing home in Monroe, Louisiana for years, and she ended up taking care of other people, but not taking care of herself. She real susceptible to this coronavirus because she got she do dialysis every 3 days out of a week.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I mean, looking at that, I'm thinking about her every day. But if she would have controlled her eating habits early on, this wouldn't even affect her. This wouldn't have nothing to do with her because her diet was she a licensed dietitian and one checking her diet. You see what I'm saying? And end up getting ultimately getting sick from this particular diabetes thing. So I mean, we got to prepare ourselves not to fall victim to this. They talking about the coronavirus is really killing people in Chicago, Milwaukee. You know what I mean? And they say 70% of those people is us. You know, so I'm saying, wow. I looked up the Milwaukee County, and over 262 people have died from the coronavirus of COVID-19 in Milwaukee County. So I did the number. They say 70% is us. So I say, okay, 70%, 262, 100, and I think 131, 181 people was of color. You know, so that's due to a lot of them being older, sick, and their immune system is down. So we got to figure that out, man.
Yeah, that immune system. I mean, it comes to
we still eating all the pork products and all that. So this stuff killing us. We don't even understand cheese, milk, all this stuff is cultures. So it kills us like that.
So you think since this, since the arise of the pandemic, so do you believe? Because I believe that our people have made a change. We are eating better starting today.
We need to, but I don't think we're gonna make it. We're in the house eating snacks. We're in the house eating snacks, man.
White sugar.
We're not in the house preparing for the people. I can't wait to get outside. I'll be glad when it's over with. We ain't really talking about, okay, I'm gonna start eating my vegetables right. We ain't looking at the seriousness of the illnesses that's causing these people to be affected so severely by the COVID-19. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat right. I'm gonna change. We had that as a New Year's resolution. Oh, I'm gonna change my diet. I'm gonna lose 25 pounds. You know, but because we won't push away from the table, it ultimately causes our death too. You know, when these viruses come up, your immune system is suppressed. You easily can catch it. So, hey,
and that's what we have to do. You know, as we're talking about doing for self, but more so E.A.T, evaluate all things. Yes, the government has so-called shut us down, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more, but we're going to talk about doing for self right now. Number one, we talked about, if you need a mask, why not create your own mask? You have the material. Someone in your family has a sewing machine. Two, if they're saying, if the data is showing that people are prone to a higher death rate due to the illness, and it's caused because of chronic conditions, diabetes, asthma, obesity, those are things we can directly control starting right now. I mean, right now, we can go outside and do jumping jacks, push-ups, and push away from the table. No more sugary foods. We have to cut it out. Because as you said, Brother Marcus, earlier in our conversation, while you were away, you were quarantined, but however, you start preparing for after the quarantine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, when we start looking at the data, we're not looking at the numbers for what they are. We just, it's so scary because America is coming on the national news and the media is saying, oh, they dying. Again, we're looking at the scary part of it. Oh, somebody died. But I mean, you can prevent the death if you look at what they died from. You see what I'm saying? So the illnesses that occur in our community, we got to just roll back the time. Say, you know, man, when I stop eating meat, I'm 50 years old, homie. When I stopped eating meat, my appearance changed drastically. You know, everything about me, the way I function, everything changed drastically. I'm 50 years old. I can run 3 miles right now. You know, I can just go outside and run 3 miles. I don't play no games with my health, you know. But because I look at what's needed, I'm trying to be here for a little while longer. They say most of us die by the time we 25, but the life expectancy of a black man is 65 to 67 years old. And then when we eating these terrible way, like how we eat, then our life expectancy probably 35 to 40, you know. But we got to figure it out, and the only way we figure that out is we change the way we think, how we eat.
So we got to do for self. So right now we've talked about doing for self. We're talking about our health, dealing with the mass, dealing with the way we eat. We can change that overnight. We're talking about exercising, and also we have to focus on I mean, to me, it's making us get back to the basics. Now we got to get back to a better hygiene. So we have to continuously cleanse our hands, because according to the data again, they're saying that the average person will in 1 hour touch their face with their hands 10 to 15 times unknowingly in 1 hour. So I can see how this virus is being spread, and as it gets, because the body, when it's in its perfect condition, it will fight practically anything off. So it's up to, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so
the body, I was just gonna say the body's a natural healer, that's all.
Yeah, and so we have to put in the body to help the body naturally heal, better thinking, better eating, physical activity, exercising. So I'm optimistic about it. Yeah, I know these numbers are real that's being reported. However, we have a condition where we can take action today to prevent the future activity that's going to present itself again. So we have to reduce fast food, because according to our current situation, they're saying the only thing that's currently open as far as businesses are what's called essential businesses. So these so-called non-essential businesses are not open. So do we really, how much do we need these so-called non-essential businesses, or the mass of the non-essential businesses in our community?
I mean, the essential business that's open is most of the restaurants, fast food joints, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King. These joints are open.
Does that contribute because we don't grow our own food?
Oh, without a doubt. That's without a doubt. It's because of that. Phone ring. I mean, we know we don't grow our own foods anymore. We don't even want to work on a farm. That's partly due to slavery and all of that. I ain't going on no farm. Agriculture is out. So I mean, but it's a necessity. We need those amino acids that's in vegetables and whatnot. We don't care about that because I want a hamburger. So I hope that the economy, that the burger joints stay open. You know, while the clothing stores they were closed. The grocery stores barely open. You know, I mean, a lot of things shut down immediately. So I mean, you know, and because we not prepared, we get the blunt end of that too, because we might not bounce back from that. The small mom and pop restaurants, clothing store, we might not bounce back from that because we bank out of our pocket. You know, it ain't no. I can't say that I'd say that we might not bounce back because we don't have the proper funding to be able to bounce back from that situation. I mean, to shut down overnight, then shut down for 2 months, and not have no income coming in. Ain't no way we could bounce back from that.
Yeah. No, I definitely get it. That's one of the first basics in business, being under collateralized or under capacity, dealing with revenue coming in. So you have to focus on that. But one thing that the so-called government has said that is essential and has not closed liquor stores. So now we're able to self-medicate, because I was at the house last night, all night, and my next door neighbor, or a couple houses over, they were having a party up until about 4 o'clock in the morning. So people are not social. Some people are not social distancing
themselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I took it as that people needed to, even though they were compromising their situation, they needed that socialization face to face.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, like you say, the liquor stores weren't closed.
No, they say that's essential.
They not closed here neither. And they letting the people in the stores 10 at a time though. But the state of Virginia own all the liquor stores. So the lines are wrapped around the corner. So they still making money. So the economy is still striving for them. That's what I'm saying. The mom and pop stores, or, the small black businesses probably won't bounce back because they can't stand to be closed for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 2 months. And they talking about going all the way to August in some states. Ain't no way. We'll lose everything, because we're not properly prepared for the downfall of not having no cash flow. We're not properly prepared. But the liquor stores are open because they want us to mess our livers up, They want us to keep on drinking and cause intoxication. And liquor is a vital immune suppressor too. It's an immune suppressor. So if you own all that garbage, you kill yourself that way too.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And because it has that sugar in it. And we just got to talk about diabetes and all that. So, and the way we eat a lot of bread and all that, which turns into all that sugar. So we really have a time in our life to really evaluate all things. Evaluate where we currently are mentally, physically, and socially. We can make a change today for the future generation. And that's what it's about. Creating that generational wealth. As we were talking about opening up the economy, as being a citizen in the community, African American, being black, what type of businesses do we currently have, and are we prepared for tomorrow? Because in our community, you have a lot of how can I say, like I would say low impact businesses. Some of them, they're not in the medical. Yeah, things that low impact, that the government overnight, boom, can say businesses are closed because they're non-essential. I heard Minister Farrakhan, this has been 10, 15, no, he probably said it 20 or 30 years ago, but I heard it about 10, 15 years ago. He said that, what if we wake up one morning and all the supermarkets said whites only? So pretty much that what has just happened. The government came in and said only essential businesses can open up. Are we ready?
We're not ready, you know that. I mean, we don't own hardly any supermarkets. I don't know no black man that own one myself personally, So I mean, the banking, we don't know probably black banks, probably 21 black banks in America.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. We talk about the banking because the government came in and because of our voting process, we have people that represent us in Congress, Senate, and all that good stuff, as everybody already know. So money was allocated. Now, the businesses that went to the banks to acquire this money under a couple of different programs. One, the PPP, Payment Protection Program. The second one, a EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan. So dealing with the PPP, they laid out the stipulations. One of the major stipulations was, do you have employees? And if you do, hey, apply for this, but now I just need the documentation. 940s, 941s, W-3s, and all this. We got to the position where we cannot produce the documentation.
Yeah, I understand. Like, again, we ill prepared for the situation. Most of us got small black business. We only got 2 or 3 employees, paying them under the table, some of them. And, being the main employee of the business, but, badly, sometimes you're not even paying yourself. All your I's ain't dotted, the T's ain't crossed. So how you gonna, we underbanked. We not professionally set up. We just got an idea and started a business, but it's a learning curve in starting it. So we're not gonna get that funding. We're not gonna get the money. The McDonald's of America, they got the funding. The Burger Kings, they consider these small businesses. They got the money, the mom and pop beauty shop that would close immediately, they ain't getting no money. They can't. They underbanked. They don't have a personal banker that can bring them the application and say, look, you need to file for this right away. It's stimulus money out there. These I'm gonna put it blunt. The European came and got the money, man. They getting the funding. The larger impact of that they allocated $2.2 trillion to all of this stuff that's going on. So you stimulated the economy. You know, you allocate money to universities and all of that, right? These schools are closed down. Why would they still got their funding from the beginning of the semester or either the beginning of the year? They never used the money yet.
Also endowments.
Yeah, they got the endowments. They got everything. But it's just a lot of things that's going on that we not aware of, and we not thinking
We're not
about.
Prepared.
Because we scared. We in the scared zone. We're not prepared to look at what this really is or how it really impacts us as a community. You know, we're not E.A.T. We're not evaluating this whole situation. We just, it's a pandemic. I'm scared. I don't want to die. But if you eating bad, you're gonna die anyway. You know, I mean, according to the CDC and the World Health Organization, we already cancer is killing us. Cardiovascular disease is killing us. That's the blockage of the arteries, man. That's from that greasy food that we eat. You see? So it's a lot of things going on here. It's a lot of dynamics. But when you throw the pandemic out there, it's become greater. It's just, oh no, I'm so scared. But you can't be scared today. You got to be rational. You got to become a thinker and think your way outside of the situation and start to be able to create. Now, this is the time to become an entrepreneur. To study and to develop a system that you can save yourself. You can save yourself. Man, 30 million some odd people here in America.